Good morning, welcome back to Kinfolk Farm. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Today we have kind of a busy day. We have a couple things, well, one thing I want to get done and one thing I have to get done. So we have a couple things I want to do today. One that I have to get done is we have a brooder house back there behind our house where we raise up all our baby birds. These guys. We have a brooder house back there where we raise all our baby birds, and we have chicks coming either tomorrow or the next day. Not quite sure. I think they're shipping today. And they're only right down in South Georgia, so I would hopefully assume they're coming tomorrow. But I got to get that brooder house cleaned out. I hadn't been down there since probably the middle of last summer, middle of this past summer. I hadn't been down there, so I need to go check it out, make sure the heat lamps are working. Make sure I got fresh bedding in there. I need to go get some feed. Just get everything ready for the brooder house. And another thing I want to get done is I want to take my birdhouse gourds, bring a bunch of them up here. They're over there stacked up where we park our tractor. I'm going to go bring a bunch to the house because we have a huge storm coming today. I'm going to sit on the front porch, drill all those out, and start getting seeds out. Because we want to start saving the seeds from all those birdhouse gourds and give you guys the opportunity to grow your own birdhouse gourds. It'll probably be a little while before I tell you how we're going to give you all the opportunity to grow your birdhouse gourds. But I definitely want to get the seeds out of them today because I keep procrastinating on these birdhouse gourds. I just always find something else to get into. For one thing, we've been stuck on the muscadine vineyard. But today, being we have a storm coming, it's rained a little bit already, but being the storm's coming, I need to hurry up and get the brooder house done. We're going to play with some birdhouse gourd seeds and just have a little fun today. Try to ride this little storm that's coming out. But first, we need to let the chickens out. They're dying to get out. So first, we're going to let the chickens out, feed these guys, and get started. Might as well get what eggs we can before Mia finds them. She has done trained herself to check these egg boxes. We let her out. Mia, no. Come on. Mia, come. Mia, come on. She has done trained herself. We let her out. Look at this guy. Come on, let's go. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. They only get one that we know of a day. We'll let them out and they run around and we go, after a while we say, where are the dogs at? And then they'll come across the yard with an egg in their mouth. And she is fascinated with these quail. Keep waiting to get some quail eggs and we have yet to get a quail egg. It's driving me nuts. I am ready for some quail eggs. Not happening. All right, we're gonna go get a bag. I got a couple of eggs. We're gonna go get a bag, come back, get some of these gourds, bring them to the house, that way they're at the house. Then I gotta run to the feed store, get a bag of feed real quick. Make sure we have some food for our little babies. And I guess clean the brooder house out. Not really sure what we're in for. Like I said, it's been since summer, since we've been in there. I know it's gonna be full of cobwebs. I wanna get all those out because it was full last year. But here's one of our birdhouse gourds that you guys that are new to our channel, we grew those last year and we grew a ton of them and it was super fun. So we're gonna make sure we give everybody the opportunity to grow some this summer too. Well, let's go get a bag. We'll load up on these birdhouse gourds and work on this brooder house next. Well, let's walk down here and see what the brooder house looks like. Like I say, I haven't been in here since last summer. I know it's going to be just loaded with cobwebs, and I don't think I cleaned out the pine shavings from the last set of birds we had. Here's our brooder house, and it sits right behind the house, so we can keep a pretty good eye on it. We have some electricity run out here. We just run it from the house. I have to go. I know I have to go get some cord because I don't have any cord. Okay, not too bad. I do need a heat lamp. We have this heat pad here that they get under that we absolutely love because we don't have to worry about catching on fire. I need to clean out the feeders. They look like they're stuffed with old feed. Make sure I got some water bottles down here. I'll go get the tractor, and I think step one is we'll clean these two feeders out. Just, that's old feed. Make sure those are nice and cleaned out, and we got some fresh feed. We had to go to the feed store and get some feed. Pull this out, pull all this out, and we'll just rake this out into the tractor, put it to the compost pile. I don't think we'll do anything out here until maybe next week. I may get to it, because this door, we have a door. Let me open this. This door right here slides up and down. So as they get bigger, we'll open it, move this block, and they can come in here and get outside and sort of get established to being outside for a week or two before we put them out in the pens. And we do that with all our birds. We do it with our quail, we do it with our ducks, we do it with all our birds. And it really works out well. It really works out well. We had a little thing here where we was putting a little tub in there for our ducks. They would come out and hop in and swim around. It was a lot of fun. So we'll be doing that again hopefully this summer. But I think what we'll do first is just go get the tractor, clean this out because it looks rough. Put it in the compost pile. I need to get some food. But this shouldn't take long. This shouldn't take long at all. Well, that wasn't too bad. We got a little compost. Let me take that up to the compost pile. I want to see now if the power works. I ran the extension cord all the way from the house to here. I was going to run it through the yard. I wish y'all could see what all I went through. I started to run it through the yard, and first thing popped in my head, we put me and them back there. They'll chew on that wire. Oh my gosh, that would be devastating, because they chew on everything. I took the birdhouse gourds to the house, and it wasn't 10 minutes. I went in to go get the drill real quick, and they'd already drug 2 or 3 of the gourds in the house and started chewing them up. So those dogs are a mess. They keep us on our toes. I want to see now if our heat lamp works, if our heating pad works. And I moved this light. It was always right here in our head. It was just right here in the middle, well, up here. But we kept hitting our heads on it, and I just moved it in the corner. I think that's going to work a lot better. We also, for you guys that are worried about these lights, those heating pads are awesome. My son-in-law bought that. I'm not exactly sure where he got it from, but underneath there's a nice metal pad that just warms up, and the birds get under it. You can extend the legs up or down. That thing is amazing. I absolutely love it. Everybody knows about these heat lamps. I put a safety chain on mine. I put a little safety chain. So if something happens, we have a real nice tight clip, and we keep it plugged in over here. But I keep this thing safety chained just in case. Because you know, you always hear that people's places catch on fire and all. A little scary with all these pine shavings and stuff, but all the pine shavings off there. But those heat pads are just the best. If you can find those, I absolutely love them. I like the red ones too, because they add a little extra light in here. But that's why we put this in here, just so we can see. Let's plug this up and see if everything is working. Well, I am super happy about that. I got to run to the store, the feed store up the road, and get some chick feed. I'm loving this being out of our way. This thing would hang right here. Right as you come in the door, it would be right here. And I don't know why in 2 years we hadn't figured out to move it out of our way. But I finally moved it out of the way. This is going to be just great. This is going to be great. If you guys hadn't seen these feeders, we feed our quail the same way. Because quail are super messy eaters. They'll take a bite and flick, and take a bite and flick, and they'll throw half their food on the ground. Before you know it, they'll be walking on top of a mound of feed. For some reason, they won't eat it off the ground. It's so weird. But this works out great for our chicks as well. We've been doing this for a while. Absolutely love this style of feeding. Just 3-inch PVC. We took a little hole saw and drilled out some holes. And we don't glue it together, because if we have to take it apart, you don't want to glue it together. But it works great. I'm gonna run and go get some feed. Like I said, our birds should be here tomorrow or the next day, I'm hoping. But it's starting to drizzle now. I'm gonna run this to the compost pile, head to the feed store, and we're gonna start on these gourds. I wanna see how many seeds I can get out of that little bag of gourds, because I still have 30 or 40 over there. I want to give some to my neighbor. He's trying to get his grandson into doing all this gardening stuff too, and I think he would really love that. I'm gonna give some to my neighbor, and we're gonna strip some seeds out of these gourds. I think this will be a lot of fun. Well, I brought over 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I just brought over 13. And for you guys that hadn't been keeping up with our channel, I just got a bunch of new subscribers this week, thanks to the Max. I really appreciate you guys. Go subscribe to the Max, M-A-C''S, the Max. They're an awesome channel. They are hardcore homesteaders. I'll say they're super sweet. I just love the Max. But I got some subscribers from them the other day. I really, truly appreciate it. I hope you guys hang in there with us. If you guys haven't been keeping up with us, we grew a ton of these last year for the first time, and they were really fun and really easy to grow. I wanted to get the seeds out of all these, and I found a way to share them with everybody, and I'm itching to tell you guys how I want to do it, but I'm not going to tell you guys yet. It'll be a little while. But one thing, we store these all through the winter. We put them up in that little, we just took a piece of cattle panel and put up in there with some wire because they were falling through the cattle panel. But they get this black mold on them when they start storing up. So you have to sand that black mold off. We wear a mask. I did a video on this a few weeks back, how I made that one particular birdhouse gourd. But we grew these for the grandkids because I have 3 grandkids that come over, and we always do family home evening type stuff. After we eat dinner, we always have a family dinner on the weekend, and we like to play games and stuff. But this is going to be super fun. We're going to make our own birdhouses. We're going to let them paint them and stuff. I made a video where I made a couple of them, and they turned out really, really nice. The seeds are super easy to get. They're just super hard. The shell is really, really hard. But you got to get that black mold off, and you're not going to sand it. Let me show y'all an example real quick. I keep staring at this one. I got one right here, but the stem broke off on it. But you sand it down. I should have brought it out here with me. You sand it down, and I just put some clear coat over this one. You're not going to get all the black mold off, but you'll get most of it. And then we'll put some paint on it, and it just turns out really super cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for kids. But you got to get that black mold off. Then we'll drill it out. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to get the seeds out. I'm going to set them over here on the side. So when we do get ready, I can just sand them, and we're ready to paint. I want to say I have 50 or 60 of them over there. I'm going to give a handful of them to my neighbor so he can do it with his grandkid. But they're going to be fun. They're going to be a lot of fun. I've never grown them before. This is our first year. Let me drill these out real quick, and we can see how many seeds we'll just get out of these 13. And I want to go fishing. This is my one day off, so I want to go fishing before it gets dark. But through the week, I'm going to end up drilling out all of them and gather all the seeds. So I should have a ton. You're going to be blown away at how many seeds are inside these gourds. I think this is probably the biggest one. They don't really make a lot of noise until you start loosening them up. I think this is the biggest one out of this little group. But what I'm going to do is sort of look at it and figure out where I want my hole. And I got a little hole drill saw here. Super simple. Really cool. Let me show you guys. Let me get that little powder stuff out of here. And that is just break that down a little more. But that's just off one. That is just off one. Out of one gourd. That's a lot. I would say that's maybe 50 seeds. Maybe 50 seeds. Isn't that a little interesting little seed? Look at that. Maybe 50 of those. And we planted them last year. We didn't plant. We planted 4 holes, but only the 2 end ones grew. And you have to put them on a trellis because they climb and they take over everything. But only 2 grew. And we grew 60 out of 2 plants. It was amazing. Well, that was the final result. We had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Those 4 there turned out to be rotten. And I didn't notice it until I dropped the first one in here. And it put out these little white seeds that I don't think will grow because I remember the ones we planted were the brown ones. So I'll have to go through here and sort out all the white ones, which is no big deal. I looked everywhere for our fan because I did this with the gem corn. The gem corn had a nice little dust to it. It had a real nice dust on it. And what I took was, I took this bowl, turned the fan on, and just sort of slowly poured it into another bowl, and it blew that dust. Just put it on low, put the fan on low, and it blew all that dust off that corn. I did it 4 or 5 times. And it made that corn so pretty and shiny. It just blew all that dust off. I was wanting to do it to these, but I can't find the fan. It's been put up all winter, And I don't know what we did with it. So I'm going to have to wait till my wife gets home and ask her what we did with the fan. I have no clue. I cut the video off. I've been running around everywhere. I can't find it. But it turned out for those 9, I mean, it turned out a ton of seeds. And I still have a lot of plants over there. But I just have to go through here and just sort of pick out the good and the bad. Once I blow all this light papery stuff off, once I get all that blown out, it'll make it a whole lot easier. I mean, there's thousands of seeds. It's just a crazy amount of seeds. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's a wild looking seed, isn't it? There's big old seeds. But here in a little while, I'll tell you guys how we're going to get rid of them. It'll be a little ways away. And I don't want to keep y'all dwelling on it, but that is okay. I'm super happy. I'll just got to sand those down, sand all those down, and I'll put them up so the next time the grandkids come over, we can have some little painting projects. I really like this one. This one didn't pick up hardly any mold, a little bit on the back, but that one turned out really nice as opposed to some that are just black. But it really gives it a lot of character if you're just going to clear coat it or put some kind of gloss on it or something. They're super fun to grow, guys. If you've ever grown birdhouse gourds before, let me know in the comments below if I'm doing anything wrong. Excuse me. Or let me know if I'm doing it right too, because I'm not sure. This is the first year we've ever grown them. They turned out really, really well on the first 2 we did. The seeds are turning out okay. I'm certain they're going to grow. They just look fantastic. Super excited. I can't wait to give them to everybody and wait to see everybody plant them and have fun with them. For kids, they are so much fun. I'm a kid at heart, so I'm just blown away with them. I absolutely love them, and I love putting stuff like that all over my farm. But guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you have subscribed, if you haven't, do me a favor, click that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Leave me some comments below. If you're getting meat chickens this year, if you just want to talk about anything, leave some comments below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We're excited about our meat chickens. They should be here hopefully tomorrow. I am super, super excited about getting back into the spring fever with raising our meat chickens. We're going to do Cornish cross this year. The first 50. We're getting 50. I guess I should have mentioned that. We're getting 50 Cornish cross this first part of the year, and then later towards the end of summer. We don't like doing them in the summer. It's just so hot. Towards the end of summer, we'll do Freedom Rangers. We're going to do the Cornish cross first so we can do them all cut up as far as split breasts, legs, wings. We'll cut all them up. And then because we still have a bunch of birds left from last year, but we'll do Freedom Rangers towards the end of summer so we can have some more whole birds. Our pigs will be here really, really soon. Hopefully the quail will be laying it pretty soon. The ducks have just started laying. I picked up 1 egg this morning, 2 yesterday, so the ducks are just starting to lay. So spring is coming, guys. I was noticing on my plum trees, they're getting little buds all over them. The peach orchard, when I went to go get feed, the peach orchard's starting to turn pink down the road. It's just, spring is in the air. I'm super excited down here in Georgia, and I can't wait. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Do me a favor. Like, subscribe, share, let everybody know about Kinfolk Farm. I really, really appreciate it. Love you guys to death, and I will see y'all on the next video. Use the backpack blower. That looked like a charm. Yeah. Just got to pick out those white ones.